It was the grand reopening of the historic Elsinore Theatre. For nearly 2 decades, the theatre had been abandoned, a dusty relic of the Golden Age, echoing with memories of tragic plays and glamorous stars. Now, after a $12 million restoration, it was ready for its first show, Macbeth, starring none other than aging Broadway legend Vivian Blake. The city buzzed with excitement. Tickets were sold out. Critics gathered with pens sharpened. But by midnight, Vivian would be dead. Act 1, a star returns. Vivian Blake hadn't acted in 10 years. Her sudden withdrawal from the spotlight had sparked rumors, a breakdown, a failed marriage, a nervous collapse during a performance of Hedda Gabler. But no one knew the real story. Not even her co-stars. At 62, Vivian still had a voice that could silence a room. Her return had brought former fans, nosy tabloids, and her estranged daughter, Mara Blake, now a successful playwright, back into her orbit. Mara hadn't spoken to her mother in 6 years. When Vivian found out Mara had arrived, she reportedly said only, "She better not be here to bury me before the curtain rises." Act 2, Murder on Stage. Opening night went flawlessly until Act V. As Vivian collapsed to the ground in the final death scene, the audience gasped at her realism. She held the silence for a full minute. But when the curtain fell, Vivian did not rise. She was dead. Poison. Fast acting. Traces of belladonna in her water bottle, the one she sipped between scenes. Only 6 people had access to her dressing room. Mara, her daughter Jordan, her understudy Felix, the director Teresa, her makeup artist Andre, the stage manager, and Vivian herself. The room was locked from the inside. Act 3. The investigation detective Lena Morrow was called in. She wasn't a fan of theater, but she knew lies when she saw them. She quickly ruled out suicide. Vivian had made a dramatic toast an hour before her death, promising a new beginning, but someone else had wanted an ending. Everyone had a motive. Mara had written a play years ago, which Vivian publicly mocked. She lost her Broadway deal because of it. Jordan, the understudy, had reportedly told friends she'd do anything to get the lead. Felix had directed Vivian in her final flop 10 years ago. Some said she ruined his career. He blamed her for everything. Teresa was secretly Vivian's half-sister, disowned by the family. No one knew, except Vivian. Andre had gambling debts. He was caught arguing with Vivian about money hours before the show. The poison had been laced into a fresh bottle of water, one delivered 30 minutes before curtain. Security cameras showed Mara entering the room briefly during that time, but she was seen on stage minutes later, nowhere near the bottle when Vivian drank it. Locked room mystery. Act 4. The twist. Then Lena noticed something odd. The bottle, still half full, was missing. Why would the killer take it, unless it was traceable? Only one person had access to the trash backstage, Andre, the stage manager. Cornered, Andre broke, but it wasn't his plan. He said Mara had offered him $25,000 to deliver a note to Vivian. She said it was personal, but the envelope wasn't a note. It was a bribe and threats. Vivian read it and laughed. She crumpled it and threw it away. Later, Andre saw the water bottle unattended. He'd seen Felix slipping something into it. He thought it was just vitamins. But when Vivian died, he panicked and destroyed the evidence. Final act. Curtain call. But Lena knew the truth. Felix wasn't the killer. Neither was Jordan. Nor Andre. She called a press conference on the very stage where Vivian died. The suspects stood in a row, confused. Then Lena spoke. Only one person knew exactly when Vivian would sip that water, the moment she needed to clear her throat before her death monologue. That person also knew about the belladonna, because she wrote a scene in her canceled play about a poison actress dying in Act V. The killer is Mara Blake. Mara's silence was theatrical. You killed your mother, using your own words. Fitting, don't you think? She didn't deny it. Only whispered, she took everything from me. I just took it back. Epilogue. Mara was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her unfinished play, Death in 5 Acts, became a cult classic, performed only once a year at Elsinore Theatre. As for Vivian Blake, her final performance earned a standing ovation. The legend lived on.